guys, I am going to do a quick tutorial. I've already got my face makeup on and actually my eye makeup on, except for my brows and my eyelashes. I've even already done my liner. So just because these take long times to do, maybe I take a long time, anyway, I'm going to use my famous Chanel Inimitable Mascara, which I absolutely love. This is in the waterproof in black. And I am going to, this was kind of the big deal. Because you know I have Anastasia Brow Wiz and Urban Decay's brow pencil. It's almost the exact same. They have very tiny nibs and I really like, that's great and everything. But I always keep coming back to an old faithful that I've told you guys about, but and I've shown you in a bunch of videos, and it's the Almay. And this is in, it's Almay Intense Eye Color Eyeliner. It's an eye crayon. And this is in color Raisin Quartz, I believe. It should be. Where is it? I know it's on here. Why is it so hard to find colors for me? Yes, Raisin Quartz, number 004. And you can tell just because you can see that it's got a kind of purpley tone lid and tail, which, you know, that's supposed to show you the color. And you'd think, why would you put purple on? Well, I'm just going to show you why. I'm going to split my little bangs here. And the reason is because it doesn't come across purple, but it's not as harsh as a dark brown, ash, black, whatever, medium brown, whatever you use, it's just not as harsh. And because I've noticed that because of the nib being a little bit larger, and you can see that I'm putting it next to my cheek so you can see, it actually is so much easier. And I can still mimic brow hairs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first of all reinforce the underside of my natural arch by just going through like that. I could be finished right there if I wanted to be. Look how that just reinforced. But I'm going to give a little up here. And so I'm going to, just like I would with any other brow crayon product, I'm going to do it in little wispy motions, and hopefully I won't make a boo-boo. And just like get to the point you want to be at and go down, up and down, up and down. And then take another mirror check. I did not bring my brow brush. Let's just say you forgot your brow brush. Just use your 3 fingers like that. Just comb with them. It's not the end of the world if you comb with your fingers. And you do want to comb through, and I'll tell you why, because then your natural expression will make those hairs lay back down, and you can see, is there anything more for you to do? And can you see I really don't need to? Now I could fill in the front a little bit. If you overfill, like if you fill everything perfectly even, it doesn't look very natural. Whereas right now, just the arch has got most of the color, and then it kind of fades out. Again, you want to kind of keep them as even as possible, just like you do with the liner. This liner side's a hair higher than the other liner side. I might fix that while we're sitting here. But anyway, again, you start at the bottom point of the thickest part of the brow, and you just go on the underside of the arch and kind of let off the pressure at the end so you get kind of a wispy tail. I also have scars on my eyes, so I try not to over accentuate that area. All right, so here, again, I'm going to go to my highest point that I want to, which is usually the outside of your iris. Some people will tell you do it from your nose to the outside of your iris and right there. But I just kind of know without doing that because I know my brows. And see, just that little backfill really is enough. But I'm going to build a little height in, just because this brow is naturally lower than the other brow. So I do kind of have to work this one a little bit higher and backfill it a little bit more than the other one. And that's it. I mean, really, my brows are done. And again, I can just comb through with my fingers if I want to. Just, you know, what happens when you comb through the brow is you move the hairs around enough to where you can kind of see, do you need to fill anything else more in? And I don't really think I do. I think that's enough. Yeah, I don't. So there's that. But see how much easier that was than the ones where you have to do 1,000 little wisps. And I think it's because it is a larger nib. It is very creamy, and yet it doesn't look overdone at all. And it's because it's not a brown. It's like a, I guess Raisin Quartz is kind of like a mauve brown. I don't know. What would you call that? Do you think that looks mauve? Anyway, look at it very close on. It doesn't look that way at all. So, anyway, so that's done. What did I do with my... Don't tell me I didn't put it in here. I didn't put it in here. I said don't tell me that. But anyway, I didn't put my pen liner, which is my DHC Pro Expert EX, I think is the name of it. So now I'm going to... By the way, if you ever want to blend and you don't have your blender brush with you, use this back meaty part of your palm. Don't go over it, but go beside the edge of your eye, and it just kind of blends out whatever was right there. And you can do that on both sides, and it just kind of takes any excess off that was right there. And then be sure to wipe your hands off, because now you're gonna have makeup on your hands. All right, and so now I'm going to use my Chanel what am I trying to say, eyelash curler. Put it right on the base of the lid and just push down a little, and look how that just pops the lashes straight up. And then you go ahead and curl it back. Now right now I do mine 2 times on both eyes, and I don't just hold it for 2 or 3 seconds. As you can see, I hold it a lot longer, and that's because I want that curl to stay all day. And that's the other reason why I use waterproof mascara. So as I do this, I'm kind of bouncing. I don't know if you can see that. And then I'm going to do it again, because just, you know, doing it more than once, you will kind of like, you won't have an imprint of just that one. And then as I'm going to switch over to the other eye, what I'm doing is letting the pressure on this a little bit and just going back a little further down on the lashes to curl them. And notice the position is changing back towards my eye socket, and that is just to kind of get the tip ends to curl back more. And again, I'm kind of bouncing it. Don't let up too much pressure, and I'm done. So now I'm going to go to the other eye. Again, just place it right on the lid, and the lashes will naturally pop up, and then go ahead and clamp down. Right now, again, see the angle is that it's just going straight up, which is fine. And again, I'm bouncing it a little. I'm not letting up. I'm just kind of putting additional pressure on it back to original pressure. I'm not taking off the pressure to where it's going to open back up. And now I take it off and I do it again. Again, to keep there from being one single imprint. And also in case you missed some lashes, you know. And now I'm going to let up a little bit and position it back towards my eye socket so that it will... And I'm going to let a little of the eyelashes out. You can feel the pressure so that you've gotten more to the ends of the lashes. I'm going to hold that a few seconds more. There. Then I always take a tissue, or if you've got a makeup wipe handy, always wipe off your mascara off of your eyelash curler, because that's not very sanitary. Just kind of, I go back and forth, just kind of stick my thumb right in between the two and go back and forth. Make sure the rubber thing's getting clean. And if there's any little fibers that comes off the tissue, that's why it's better to use a makeup wipe. For one thing, it gets the makeup off better. And then just kind of also wipe on the front part. You just don't want to leave any excess mascara or eye skin or whatever. Now that left a good bit of tissue, so I will use a makeup wipe on that. I guess it's just this particular eyelash curler is this has got a really good piece of rubber on it. You know, these come out and you can change them out, which you could. That one's not in bad shape at all, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Chanel Inimitable Mascara and I'm going to swirl it around in there a little bit, both directions. Come out. I'm going to go back down in because that's going to pull some out, and I want some on the tip ends. And I always tip out the end of my lash first. Why? So it's sort of like when you do a line and then you come back up to the line when you're coloring. It's that same thing. You want to make sure you at least get the tips good, because you don't want somebody looking at you sideways and see these little blondie tip ends because you didn't get all the way to the edge. And so I'm starting at the base and then I'm going out. And again, another good time to always have your a makeup wipe handy, because everybody boo-boos when they put on mascara. All right, so now that I've gone through once, I'm going to tip out especially the outer lash. I don't know if you can see that. And the inner lash, and I go, on the inner lash, I go towards the nose. See how I'm just kind of putting it towards the nose, but then I'm going to comb back through it. And mascara is a lengthy process. See, I just did a boo-boo. It is. It's a very lengthy process in that if you do more than one coat, if you want to make sure you got really good coverage. Okay, so now I'm coming down. I'm just going to wiggle back and forth at the base, back and forth down, back and forth down. And basically that coat's good at the base. It may even give a little bit of a stain right at the base, which looks like liner, which that's fine. And then, okay, and then now I'm going to get a little bit more mascara because I'm going to tip out the lash on the bottom as well. You want to look up so you can get those lashes to rise up off the, you know, away from the skin. And you're just literally tipping out each individual lash. I remember once I saw Bobbi Brown do this like it was news. I've done this for 30 years. But she probably has to because she's a makeup artist. And I'm a little makeup artist, aren't I? I don't know. I'm my own makeup artist. You're your own makeup artist. Hey. But she went to school. And there is a lot to learn. Like they learn about shading and sculpting. And the good thing about YouTube is they're teaching all of us about these things now. And I think women are doing a better job at making up. Even if they want a real natural look, they're doing a better job at doing their makeup. So I don't know if I'm going to have time to get to the other eye. But I just wanted you to see, again, make sure that when you do, sometimes I rest my hand on my chin to make sure it's good and steady. Especially when I'm getting those little inner lashes. Because I don't have a lot of lashes. And people always say, oh my gosh, you've got the prettiest lashes, you've got the longest lashes. I don't. What it is I just use at least 2 to 3 coats of mascara and an eyelash curler with a good waterproof mascara, which Chanel is. So now I'm going to start on the other eye, and I may come back and do one last tipping out and comb through on this eye, and I will be done. And I just thought y'all might want to see that. Again, one of my favorite under eye creams is the Bobbi Brown Extra Moisturizing. And this is also her eye cream, which I don't know if it's as good. But anyway, Bobbi Brown has a good under eye product. So I tap that off at the very end. So I will see you in my next video. Talk to you then. Bye. Bye. It never goes off when you think it does.